What's going on, Paisanos? V here, coming at you guys, well, with another video today. Let me start this video off by asking you guys a question. I'm going to paint a scenario, and I want to know what you do. Comment down below. But this is a scenario that was asked at me multiple times by the YuGiOh community at NAWCQ in my last couple of videos. And actually, I have the answer to this question, but I want to know exactly what you would do. Now, in this scenario, let's say you're going to a locals or regionals, YCS, AWCQ, any YuGiOh event, and you know you're going to go there, but you hear rumors or you hear about someone threatening you. So there's no verifiable proof, and I'll get to that in a second, that they're threatening you. You show up at said event, and there's that person. You show up with your friends, they're there with their friends, and they make a beeline right to you. They point at you, make a beeline. The second they see you, it's fight on sight. They start throwing their arms, you start throwing your arms, and the TL comes over and sees both of you, breaks the fight up. What happens? What do you think is going to happen to you? And would you throw your arms in the fence? And for the most part, would you feel like if you was to get in trouble, would it be worth it? I mean, once again, you're defending yourself over here. You're not actively going at that person. They're the ones that started it, as many would say. What happens? Well, from a TL's perspective, they would actually ban both of you. They'll submit paperwork to Konami, and within about 7 days, within those days, you can have an appeal. But for the most part, you would actually be banned from the YuGiOh trading card game, even though you defend yourself. Now, wait a minute. Like I said in this video, I will show you how to fix this. So, if you were defending yourself, you actually come out on top of the situation. It's very important. You can find us in organized play and forms and policies. We're going to be reading some Konami penalty guidelines and TCG policy today, and the reason why is because it's very important to the situation. You have to understand these penalty guidelines and a tournament policy in order to take advantage of the loophole Konami gives to all the players. Not many players might actually know the answer, because when I asked this question to everybody this past weekend, no one knew the exact answer to this scenario. And there's multiple scenarios that are like this as well. So right out the gate, real quickly before I begin with anything, I just want to talk about the NAWCQ. Had a great time. And something I noticed. Now, this doesn't happen to me. Judges are normally really nice to me. They're normally nice to everybody, to be honest with you. But there are occasions when we see some judges that do things that are not nice. Spectators must be prepared to move if the presence blocks judge access through throughways, fire exits, or any path identified by tournament staff. And that's true. Some judges were abusing this. Some judges were asking players to move like 20 feet away for no reason. Not all judges, though. I think the majority of judges were asking very reasonable requests. Hey, can you move a bit, buddy? I'm trying to get around the table. Do it. The guy's working all day long. Let him do it. And then there are some judges that are like, keep going, keep going. You next thing you know, you're on the other table, and that judge is yelling at you. Spectators will be maximum move their presence is distracting any of the duelists. If a judge or tournament or official tournament instructs a spectator to move, they must comply. So you still have to comply, but some of these judges do take it a little step too further. I can do another video on this by itself, by the way. Anyway, going to fighting in YuGiOh. Fighting in YuGiOh is under G in tournament policies, which is unsporting conduct. This category covers infractions associated with inappropriate behavior, usually but not always during or associated with an event. Now, this is very interesting, because Konami could have said always, but they didn't. So, if this happens outside of a YuGiOh event, it still can fall under unsporting conduct. And we'll get to that in a second, because that is very important. Unsporting conduct infractions are considered to be intentional, which obviously fighting is. Persons who engage in unsporting conduct or behavior that endangers or detracts from an event will be removed from the venue and be subject to additional penalties. Now, that is very important, because obviously, you know, if you're fighting at a YuGiOh event, you can get kicked out. But once again, if you're defending yourself, why should you get kicked out of? Imagine defending yourself, the TL walks over and goes, you're both banned, and you both have to leave. What? But that is a situation that can happen. Once again, we'll have the answer to that whole question at the end of the video. All right. Only the head judge may disqualify a person from an event. Now, as far as locals, it's a little bit weird, because in Konami rules, the tournament organizer, or TO, cannot be a head judge. He can make somebody a head judge, but what if you're fighting the head judge? Oh boy, that's a problem, isn't it? So the TO in almost all locals is normally the head judge, and there's usually a bunch of players that become like the side judges or assistant judge. That's how I've been to a ton of locals. That's how I've seen it. But yeah, only a head judge may disqualify a person from an event. 99% of the time, it's gonna be the TO. If a person is disqualified, a written statement must be filed out by any and all persons involved, including opponents, spectators, judges, tournament officials, etc. Now, this is very interesting because anyone involved. Now, obviously, the two people fighting are involved. Obviously, the head judge is involved. The TO is involved. But who else can be involved? You know the answer? It is the head judge's responsibility to collect these written statements from those involved and provide them to the tournament organizer. It is the tournament organizer's responsibility to send statements to the KDE penalty committee within 7 days of the event. Disqualification is the most severe penalty that can be given. Once again, you're fighting, you're getting DQ'd. It's the most severe penalty. It is the highest penalty in the game. All persons attending the tournament are subject to the same penalties and infraction. This means that persons not enrolled in the event as duelists are not exempt. So if his buddies show up and they're not like, oh, we're not Konami players or whatever, we're not signed up, whatever. If you show up and you're not playing the event, but you're still fighting, guess what? You're still getting banned. The infraction does not need to have occurred inside the venue as long as it impacts upon or connected to a sanctioned or organized event. Meaning, obviously, if you go outside for a cigarette and the fight happens there, guess what? You're still at a YCS. Okay, it still counts. There's no like, hold on, no. We were fighting at a hotel. Okay, but that hotel was because you were came out to play at a YCS. You see how that works? If it's connected in some way to an event, regionals, YCS, locals, it's gonna count. That's what they're trying to say here. KDE US reserves the right to suspend someone from organized play for infractions not connected to a specific event. And then they have two different kinds of disqualifications, with prize and without prizing, and the head judge and what they can do, upgrading and downgrading penalties, and then they have unsporting conduct. So as we talked about in the beginning of the video, what can happen? Now, it's broken down in 4 ways. There's minor, which is a person leaves trash behind, a person eats drinks at a table, silly stuff. There's major, which is a game loss, a person uses profanity, a person throws a chair, very specifically throws a chair, a duelist refuses to sign a match slip or rips a match slip, which I would love to see that. It's kind of interesting. Then there's DQ, okay? Now, this is UC severe, UC cheating are the most serious penalties a head judge can give. Severe is obviously going to be on their fighting, so that's one we're interested in. And then have a bunch for UC severe, and then UC cheating disqualifications. Okay. For severe, a person submits a fraudulent proof of vaccination. A person promotes actions that are against law and policy. A person behaves inappropriately on camera at a live stream event, so on and so forth. All kinds of ones. Now, a person physically or verbally assaults or threatens another person. So once again, this is UC severe. This is the disqualification. Ignore this one. This is Konami just being goofy. I don't know. This is such a goofy rule. A person makes racial or sexual slurs against another person, steals, harasses, posts a video accusing another person of cheating. A person enters an event with mask requirements and refuses to comply. They need to get rid of this one. This is out of date. But you get what's shown here. Okay. For anyone that this has happened to, these are who you connect to. There's organized play in US, and then there's Latin America, customer service, so on and so forth. These are the links you're going to need. Once again, these are on Konami's website. So, let's replay the scenario we asked in the beginning of the video. You hear about someone fighting out locals, or at a regionals, or at a YCS. It really doesn't matter. You get to the event with your friends, and they're there with their friends, and they point at you, and they're more than likely walking over to you because they're going to fight you. What do? But the first step actually isn't to defend yourself, as weird as it sounds. The first step is always to make a scene. What I mean by that, very easily. Remember, this person said they would fight you. They threatened to fight you at an event. You say, hey, is that the person who's going to fight me? Did you say you're going to fight me? Now, obviously, the answer, yes. First of all, you yelling, you making a scene, is going to draw a crowd. Why do you want a crowd so badly? Why is a crowd even needed? Well, crowds need it because you need witnesses that are not your friends. That person obviously has with their friends, you're here with your friends. Your friends will say that you got hit first. Their friends will say that they got hit first. Of course they're going to lie. They're their friends. But if you have witnesses that have no interest on either side saying, hold on, I saw everything. This kid said that this dude threatened him, and he walked over and punched him. Guess what? It doesn't matter if you whip their ass afterwards, because you had someone that literally said, there's someone who started it, and there's someone who just defended themselves. Unbiased. This is someone that you need on your side. And you don't even do anything special other than tell the truth. Those who tell the truth will get rewarded by, playing the game. But if you lie to Konami, there's actually a rule in here that's put in place. So remember I told you about his friends, and his friends will lie for their buddy? Cool. They can get suspended for that. If you lie, and it's found to be that you're lying, more than likely, you can also get suspended from the game. So with that said, by you making a scene, you now make witnesses. Everyone wants to see a fight. And more than likely, if this happens, you will fight. But with that said, you will now have witnesses. You have people there that will go, hold on, no. Fuck what his friends said. I don't care about anything other than the fact that it was a good fight and he swung first. See how that works? Number one. Number two, they're going to have to swing first. Listen, fighting in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is very basic. Whoever is the aggressor, right out the gate in the beginning, well, that's the person that counts it for. So, if they swing first and you take a hit, at that point, you are defending yourself. Legally, and according to Konami, you can do whatever it takes to make sure that you are defending yourself. Meaning, in most cases of fighting, neutralizing the target, as they say, beating that person's ass. Now, I'm not talking about that person's knocked out, and the TL walks over, and you're stomping on their head over and over again, and the TL's like, can you please stop murdering people? And you're like, no, hit me first, I'm defending myself. No. But making sure that person cannot move is defending yourself. So until then, you do whatever you gotta do. If you're still in a scuffle when the TL walks over and he breaks it up, hey, fine, fair enough. But you're defending yourself. But you still have to take the first punch. That's how it works. They're aggressive, they have to show it. You have witnesses, person swung first, you were still going at it, you knocked them out, cool. You don't swing anymore. I know adrenaline's running, I know you're excited, but you cannot just walk over to an unconscious body, or you break their leg and then the floor and they're screaming. You can't walk over and stomp on their head. You just can't do that. Even though you probably would love to do that, that cannot happen. So what you have to do is take a step back, wait for the TO to come, and say, all right, ask around what happened. You don't even need to defend yourself when you have eyewitnesses who just saw a fight, and hopefully a damn good fight, because they'll defend, win or lose. They're gonna tell you the truth of what's gonna happen. Once again, his friends will say, he didn't do nothing. Your friends will say you didn't do nothing, and the witnesses will say, here's exactly what happened. And more than likely, most TLs will go by what the witnesses said rather than what each side's friends said. That's how that's gonna work. And once again, the reason why is because of things like, well, if they lie, they'll get in trouble by Konami. And they don't want to get in trouble by Konami. Suspensions from infractions outside of sanctioned event. Now, people can get suspended for things that happen outside of Yu-Gi-Oh! Some of these are kind of weird. Because being arrested or criminally charged, I think you would have to ban literally a third of the Konami player base. Myself included, by the way. Okay, your boy V. So, I didn't go to jail, but I didn't go to prison, I went to jail. Anyway, listen, we all did some things we're not proud of in the past. If this happened, Konami might have to arrest their own employee. I have to ban their own employees. That's a weird one. But there is other ones that are kind of interesting. Like, impersonating Konami employee, which is super weird. Making threats. So, remember in the beginning of the video, like I said, that person threatened to fight you. And it's only hearsay. If it was something that was written, if it was something that was posted online, and you have proof, that is a UC severe. For threatening to fight someone at a Konami event, that individual can actually get banned from the game. So, before you even throw down, you can actually grab the notes of that person threatening you. Cyberbullying. Now, if someone is harassing you, or talking smack about you on, Twitter, they can be banned from the game. It's called a UC severe. That's how it should be. Now, here's where I flip it on you. Konami sucks. Hot, hairy balls are responding to anything you say via the email. I told the Konami employees, they told me they read every single email, and if someone's cyberbullying you, if someone is making threats, and you post it online at Konami, and you say, I emailed you about this, I told you this, there is a chance, a very good chance, that they read your email and they'll go fuck. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm not gonna lie to you. Do you still send an email? Yes. Because if it does ever happen to a fight, and you are here defending yourself, and that person's defending yourself, at least you can say, hey, listen, they made threats, I have the email, I sent you the email, we got into a fight because they acted on those threats, I defended myself, here's my follow-up email, post-fight, can you hook me up, bro? Can you at least acknowledge the fact that I tried not to make this happen, and when it did happen, I defended myself with other witnesses around? Can we at least acknowledge that I'm trying to, like, not fight in this card game? I'm trying to just go play fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! And Prick over there is threatening me and following on what they're saying. Admirable for a person that's an idiot. But now, here we are. Konami should logically not ban you at all. There should be no problems, no trouble, no issues. Hey, this person said that was going to happen. We did nothing because we're a lazy, good-for-nothing company. Well, woe is us. We're too busy trying to take as much away from the player base, so we're not going to act on all the emails. We're just going to read them because we're a useless company that sits on our ass. And I'll say it to you, Konami, listen, I know people, bro. I know that emails were sent and things weren't done, okay? So this is why I'm saying this shit. But with that said, at least you have, the more emails you send, the more embedded you be backed up on. Because at least Konami will go, hey, listen, this guy tried to do everything in his power to stop it until the fight happened. It don't matter if he knocked the guy out cold. Don't matter if he broke the guy's leg. The guy came at him first, according to eyewitnesses. So there is ways you can defend yourself, according to even Konami's goofy, old, out-of-date policy, which is desperate need of upgrading. Which, let's be real, they're barely going to upgrade this shit, but they really should. Because this policy that I read constantly is super out of date, and you could break the rules left or right within all this policy they approve. I'm just throwing it out there. And if you're going to get in a fight in this game, make sure there's eyewitnesses, make sure that person was the first punch, and make sure you have screenshots, recording and screenshots to show your side of the story. The person with the bigger side of the story of at least trying to calm things down, at least trying to just go to locals to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Or regionals or YCS, that's more than likely the person that Konami will side with and ban the other person. If you want to understand that, it's very important to understand the whole thing about fighting in Yu-Gi-Oh! You can fight in Yu-Gi-Oh! Technically, but it'll be more defensive fighting, and it's only because someone threatened to fight you first. You're just there to play cards. Konami wants you there to play cards. The people that run the venue, whether it's locals or any kind of convention center, they want you only going to play cards and have a good time, actually. But when it comes down to Konami, it's a matter of why. Why lets you fighting? And is it worth it? And will you be banned for it? And if you have a good case defending yourself, I think it's important to show that entire case to Konami. And here's the weird part about this whole situation. One more last thing, I promise you. Social media is powerful. I mean, it is massively powerful. And whether you're right or wrong, it's fine as long as you can prove that you're right. Nobody really wants to prove that they're wrong, let's be honest. And if you go on social media and prove screenshots, video, eyewitnesses that were at the event, that aren't your friends, just met you there. If you can get information from people and share that online, that might also help your case as well. Konami likes to be really secretive about certain things as far as people getting banned, suspended from the game. And if you are banned, suspended, more than likely it's not fair. You're upset about it. And there have been people in this game who have been unfairly banned. It's true. With that said, that's because they didn't utilize everything I said. They didn't get other people to back them up as far as eyewitnesses, or they didn't have enough screenshots to show that they didn't do anything. Listen, everyone that gets banned from this game can at least provide a good defense of why they should not be banned from this game. A majority of the time people are banned from this game is because obviously they did it bluntly, or B, if they did it wrongfully, they didn't provide enough evidence to show why. And this is something I think it's really important for people to understand. You have to show why that this is wrong. That you try just to come to play the game and everything else trying to mess you up, but you have the screenshots to show for that. Hopefully you guys can understand that. Hopefully this helps you guys out. Fighting in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is never really the answer of the way, but I'm telling you right now, if someone try to fight your boy V, I'm making sure there's a scene, I'll eat that first punch like it's nothing. And I swear to God, after that first punch, and that kid hasn't ran away, and he's over 18, I ain't trying to go to jail fighting a minor, your boy V's going to throw it down. I'm gonna defend myself. Of course I will. I'm an adult. I'm not gonna get a punch and sit and run like a pussy. I'm gonna defend myself, rightfully so. Okay? Then, when the TL walks over, and hopefully the person's on the floor and I'm over here, whatever, I'm gonna turn to TL and go, hey, listen, I'm here, my friends. Here's my friends. There's that person. Here's my side of the story. They're gonna give you their side of the story. There's a lot of witnesses, because I made a scene. So there's a lot of witnesses. Please talk with them and ask them what happened. Please. That's all I really want. And then we can come back and tell me what's going on, and we can talk about it. But I'm telling you right now, all I did today was come to play Yu-Gi-Oh! That person obviously had different intentions. I don't feel like I should be in trouble at all. I don't feel like I should be disqualified, banned, or anything. And if that TL is a smart person, hopefully they are, they'll realize, hey, listen, I have a situation in which someone was aggressive, someone was offensive, all people say everything's good to go, leave them alone. One has to get banned and kicked out. The other one should not get in trouble whatsoever, should stay there, and everything be cool. Hopefully you guys understood that. Hopefully this works. Is everything as clear as I say it? No, there's always gray lines, but Teals, if you're watching, hopefully you understood that. I'm not saying this happened, right? This hasn't happened, but you know, a lot of people have asked me about fighting in Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot of people have a lot of crazy stories, and I always ask a lot of questions, and one of them was, did you make a scene to get eyewitnesses? You want people that don't know you and don't know that person to at least say, hey, listen, here's exactly what happened. Make a scene, bro. It's important. Anyway, Paisano, really appreciate you guys for watching my video. Make sure to like, subscribe button, comment down below. It's your boy V. And you Paisanos have a great day.